All right, guys, welcome. What I'm going to do is show you some of my techniques on glazing. Also, this will give you advantage to see each piece that I've glazed and how I glazed it with what color, and be able to see what it looks like when it comes out of the kiln, because I'm going to record that as well. So just give me a minute here. I'm trying to get my YouTube page up on TV so I can read comments easier. If it lets me. Did it before. I think what I need to do is go into my other account and then put it up on there. Okay. Let's see. It should come up here somewhere that I'm live. You would think so. Let's see here. Somewhere it's in here. But if I can get this up here, and then what it does is allows me to read comments a little easier. So just give me a minute here while I bring this up. Let's see. Okay. Guess it's not going to let me find it. All right. So how's everybody doing today? Yeah, up here in PA, it's pretty cold. Trying to get this page up on here. Let's see. Come on. All right, I think I do see it. All right. Let me see if I can get live chat. So it's connected. All right, we're good to go. All right, everyone. Like I said, welcome to Muirhead Pottery. And we're Well, I'm doing some glazing today. So this here is my cobalt blue color, and then the inside looks brown, but it's actually an oatmeal glaze. So what I'm hoping for is that with the cobalt blue and the oatmeal glaze, it'll really pop. That's what I'm hoping for anyhow. So this is my oatmeal glaze here. I'm going to stir it up a little bit. Now you can brush this on or you can dip it. But what I'm doing here, I'm just going to brush the inside here. What I'm doing is I'm actually putting another coat on here. I like to put, 2 or 3 coats on the pieces. Help them turn out really, really nice. Then what I do is put some of that oatmeal glaze around the edge. And I kind of like to fall off the edge like that a little bit. Kind of makes it look pretty neat. So that one's done. So we'll get to see how this turns out after I fire it. So I'm going to walk this over to where I've been storing all my pieces. I've had quite a few more bowls to do of the same thing. So I have matching sets. So here I'm just going to keep on glazing the oatmeal. You kind of see what I'm doing here. Just like that. And that's a pretty good one coat. Just got to put it around the edge here yet. We'll let that coat dry, and then we'll put another coat on it. So here's what the bowls look like unglazed. These have already been bisque fired. All right. So what I do is clean my brushes. And I can just clean them in water. Okay. I don't want to mix the glazes up inside each other. So I've got to clean them off before I put them into the new glaze. All right, let me stir this one up. Like I said, it's the cobalt glaze. Now I'm going to brush them on. is when these fire, they turn into basically a glass covering or coating, as you could say, around them. But one thing about glazes for pottery is they never really look like what they will turn out to be after firing. They're always usually a little dull looking. Sometimes they're not even the same color when you're applying them like this. So you have to know, try to remember what glazes you put on which pieces. Because if you have something that turns out that you really like, you want to be able to duplicate it. So there you go. There's a cobalt blue, just one coat. Let's get another bowl. So in this firing, I'm probably going to have a lot of this newer glaze. This is some of my newer glazes that I ended up getting probably in the summertime sometime. I just now have mixed them up today. So I want to try them. This will be the first firing for these glazes. So I'm not quite sure how they're going to look. Hopefully they turn out well. There you go. There's another one with one coat of the cobalt blue. All right. Here's a bottle. I'll end up putting a cork in this one. But I want to make this all cobalt blue. And then what I want to do is put oatmeal glaze on the inside and let it come around the top edge here with the oatmeal. So it should be a pretty interesting look. So I'll simply just dip it in. Bring it out. Kind of give it a little bit of a shake. Get some of the drips off of it. Now I've got a sponge here. A little bit of water. And wipe the bottom a little bit. I really don't want it sticking to my shelves. And if any glaze hits the shelf, I do have kiln wash on the shelves in the kiln, but it's still going to stick a little bit, create a problem for me. That's why I always kind of wash off the bottom with water. Now I'm thinking that cobalt would look pretty good with one of these containers I made. Let you guys see this. So there's a container I made with a lid. Oh, the green you see here is simply a wax. It keeps the glaze from getting on that edge. But I'm thinking that a cobalt would probably look pretty cool on here. So let's dip the whole thing. Let's see what happens after the firing, I guess, right? Dip it in. Give it a little bit of a shake. Get some of the drips off of it. Just like that. And you can see how the wax resist will help keep that glaze off there. What I find is if I put that wax resist on the bottom, I can save some glaze. Otherwise, I'm wiping off all that glaze on the bottom of this thing, and it doesn't get returned to the bucket. So it actually helps save a little bit of money, I think, and allow the glaze to go a little bit further. There you go. Might have to dip that one again. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like I said, I never used this glaze before, so we're going to have to kind of see how this all turns out. So a piece like this, a little harder to dip with your hand. So I have some tongs. I can simply grab a hold of it like that, dip it in, pull it out. Get some of the drips off of it. You can see there that that wax resist helps keep that glaze off that edge. So there we go. I'll lay this on the table. That guy looked pretty good. So I have quite a few canisters to do. Let's see what else I want to do. Let's do the cup. Yeah, I didn't want to put any of the cobalt inside. So what we'll end up doing is we'll put either clear on the inside, or we'll put the oatmeal in. I'll stir this up again. I'm hoping these turn out really nice. I think they will. There you go. Cobalt blue. Yeah, this kiln won't have a lot of other colors in it. There goes another one. I think this guy's pretty dry, except for the bottom. We'll let him dry a little bit longer before I re-dip him. Let's see. Another one of my mugs. Again, it's just bisque fired. My handle. There we go. I made so many mugs this time. Here's another mug I did. Make him cobalt. Tell you what, how many mugs do I have left? I did 5 already with the cobalt. But what if see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll probably reverse this process. Maybe put the oatmeal down here and put the cobalt up top. And let's see what happens there. You know, it's all about experimentation and with these new glazes. So I want to see how they operate, how they look after I fire them. Okay. Dipping, you usually don't have to put another coat on. I might yet on this one. We'll see. We'll see how it looks when it starts drying a little bit. I'm gonna stir that up some. Gotta clean this off. All right, let's do the oatmeal glaze. And then we'll end up putting cobalt around the top. There you go. Somebody look at a large mug. This is one for you. This thing, I can get my whole hand inside of it. It's just that large. Okay, oatmeal glaze. There's another one. I get my whole hand into it. Wipe off the bottom. Any excess glaze that ended up dripping on there. Don't need it sticking to my shelf. There you go, oatmeal glaze. Now I end up putting cobalt around the top of it. Let's do this one. And so this is one of my pieces that I talked about before, where I take two different clay bodies and kind of spiral them in together when I make it, when I put on the wheel. So let's see what this looks like with the oatmeal on the bottom and then the cobalt around the top. Okay, so that's 5 of the oatmeal on the bottom, 5 of the cobalt on the bottom. And what I want to do is put oatmeal on the inside of the ones to have the cobalt on the outside. Hopefully that looks really good, but we won't know until we try. So you can see that now the cobalt glaze is now dried on the piece. And I think what I'm going to do is brush the oatmeal on the inside. Okay. Basically, I'm brushing it on the inside there. And I'll probably have to put 2 coats of this on, possibly 3, so that I can get a really good coverage. I'm going to go around the edge with the oatmeal. Drips are encouraged. All right, we're going to let that one dry. Now I'll put a second coat inside. Drips are encouraged, but I just don't want the drips coming onto my kiln shelf. That would not be a good thing. Okay. Okay. There you go. Already got some drips on it. Okay. There you go. I'm going to keep this live stream a little short, but anyhow, that is how I glaze my pieces. It's either I brush it or I dip them on. And again, it's going to take 2 to 3 coats. This will probably get rather boring to watch me do all this. I've got probably 50 pieces to do. So I hope you enjoyed that little bit. And I'll get you back here again when we start to load the kiln up for the glaze firing, which is going to be fun. All right. And hope you enjoyed it again. Please like, subscribe, and share. If you subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified. Also, if you subscribe, it helps with the YouTube algorithms, and that way it gets other people out there looking at my videos. That's what I want, is to spread the word, and hopefully more people are going to start watching. And I'll start broadcasting on a regular basis eventually here. So hope you enjoyed it, and see you back here when I start loading the kiln. All right. Hope you all had a good day, and I shall see you later. As soon as I click off the broadcast. All right.